They called her a paper soldier, mocked her for her clean uniform, untouched boots, and soft hands. But then she removed her jacket, and the scars told a story no medal could ever match. In a remote military base overseas, a group of soldiers sat around after training. "You know what I don't get?" one of them said, chewing on gum. "Why they send these decorative dolls to war zones." He gestured toward Lieutenant Maya Collins, a slim, quiet woman standing near the supply tent. Another laughed. "Probably just needed to tick the gender quota. Bet her rifle's cleaner than her nails." She heard every word, but she didn't flinch, didn't shout, didn't react. Because Maya had learned something in her years of service. Silence isn't weakness. It's patience before the storm. 6 months earlier, Maya arrived at the base. She walked into the barracks with her duffel bag, crisp uniform, and polite salute. Everyone sized her up. Too neat, too young-looking, too non-threatening. She was assigned logistics, paperwork, coordination, supplies. Paper soldier, they nicknamed her. Not to her face, but loud enough for her to hear. They didn't know. They didn't know her body held more trauma than most men there combined. They didn't know that before her paperwork, she'd survived ambushes, lost a whole squad in Kandahar, and carried her best friend on her back for 3 miles under fire. But Maya didn't tell those stories, because her silence protected something sacred, the truth she earned through blood. Then came the day of the desert drill. An IED went off near the convoy route. It wasn't part of the exercise, it was real. Everyone panicked. One truck flipped. The team leader was knocked unconscious. Soldiers scattered, unsure if it was a larger ambush. And in that chaos, Maya ran toward the explosion. "Collins, get back!" one officer shouted. She didn't listen. She pulled the wounded driver out of the burning truck, applied pressure to his chest, stabilized the vehicle to prevent more fuel leaks, then coordinated the backup over comms with flawless protocol. When the dust settled, they'd lost no one. Back at base, the same soldiers sat stunned. "That wasn't paperwork," one mumbled. Later that night, in the barracks, someone quietly asked, "Lieutenant, how'd you learn to handle that kind of chaos?" Maya finally looked up, unbuttoned her uniform sleeve, rolled it up slowly. A deep scar ran down her forearm, burnt, twisted. She turned around and lifted her shirt slightly. Across her back were 4 long, healed shrapnel scars. "Because I've seen worse," she said softly. "And I survived worse, while carrying men heavier than you, while bleeding." The room went silent. No more laughter. No more whispers of paper soldier. The next morning, the man who first called her just decoration walked over. He didn't speak right away. He just nodded. Finally, he said, "I'm sorry. I judged you without knowing your battle." Maya replied, "You don't need to say sorry. Just don't do it to the next quiet soldier." From that day forward, the mocking stopped. Maya became more than respected. She became trusted. She didn't need to shout. Her scars did the talking. Today, Maya speaks at schools, at veteran events. She doesn't talk about medals. She talks about judgment, about invisible battles, about how many women in uniform carry scars, outside and inside, and how calling someone just a girl might be the biggest mistake you ever make. The loudest warriors are not always the strongest. Real strength sometimes walks in silence, hides behind paperwork, and bleeds beneath the uniform. Respect everyone, because you never know what their scars are hiding.